But the range is pretty impressive, yeah?
Heck yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, at that wide angle, how's it in low light?
Well, it's a Z6, so I'm in ISO 1000 right now, and you're not going to see any noise, but up to 10,000, you're fine.
You're fine?
You're fine up to 10,000, yeah. F20 ISO 10,000. So what, do you want Nikon now?
I never gave him a second thought, but now I'm kind of interested, so that's pretty
right.
cool. It's pretty cool.
A lot of people are still dipping their toes in the idea of the Nikon Z full-frame mirrorless camera system, namely the Z6 for video production. Pro filmmakers and vloggers or YouTubers alike, I'm not saying that YouTubers can't be pros, I'm just saying that a lot of people are still on the fence about the Z6. A lot of that boils down to the lack of native lenses available for the new Z mount. So today we're taking a look at the new Z14-30 f4S lens from Nikon. I'm currently on the 14-30 lens at 30mm on the Z6. So if you're looking for a video that has pictures of charts and graphs showing little differences in chromatic aberration, this is not that video. I will show you footage and pictures taken with it, but this is more of a review on using this lens instead of just a technical analysis on image quality. So now that we're past that, I've had the lens for a couple months now, and I found quite a few things that I really enjoy about it. The first is the very useful focal range. 14mm on a full frame camera is basically a fisheye lens, and being able to zoom into 30mm is awesome. The focal range is stellar for landscape, real estate, vlogging, and filming people in close quarters. When you're filming with a super wide lens, you pick up better audio when using a camera mounted microphone because you'll just be closer to the action or whatever you're trying to film by default. One of the reasons people usually dislike fisheye lenses is because of the bulbous front elements that those lenses require, and you can't use filters with them. That's not a problem with the Z14-30S lens. It has some clever optics. Maybe it's because the flange distance is a lot shorter than any other available lens mount. But there's no bulbous front element in front of the 14-30, so you can use 82mm threaded filters. On that note, I brought this lens out on a sunny day at the beach with a cheap 82mm variable ND filter and was able to get some great looking footage, at least I think so. This was all handheld and last minute, as most things are with William Osman and Michael Reeves if you're familiar with them, but I'm very pleased with how quickly I was able to get up and running using this lens to film their chaos. Their camera was dying with no backup batteries, and I was around to test this lens anyway, and now they'll be using some of my footage in their video later this month. f4 isn't the fastest aperture in the world, and that's about the only shortcoming with this lens. There will be an f2.8 in the future at some point, and it will be twice as expensive, but for now we're stuck with f4. It is, however, a constant aperture, so you don't need to worry about things getting all dark and changing when you zoom in. It's also collapsible, which might seem chintzy to you if you're familiar with other types of collapsible lenses, but this lens ups the game. It feels much more like a new car doors closing boom than a clunky space saver. It also makes it so I can pack up the Z6 with a VMount battery, a microphone, the lens hood, and the 82mm filter, some extra cables and batteries in a very tiny little camera bag. My 24-70 f2.8 is just simply too big for this. Autofocus is also fantastically quick and silent, as you would expect with any of the native Z-mount lenses. And the only time I had any issue with the autofocus was when I accidentally manually set the focus point to the wrong place. So user error. The manual focus ring is inverted from where you would normally have it, so it's close to the camera body instead of near the front of the lens. It just takes a second getting used to it, but I usually use autofocus anyway, so it doesn't really bother me that much. It's a very lightweight lens, so mounting it on whatever gimbal you want to use shouldn't be an issue. It's also significantly lighter than the 24-70 f2.8, and the Z6 does have in-body image stabilization, and it works really well, especially at the wider end of the 14-30, so going handheld isn't totally out of the question, but if you really want that super smooth walking shot, you're still going to need to use a gimbal. With a lens like this, you can get incredibly close to the camera, which is great for someone with a really small space to film in. I usually film in my studio somewhere around 35 or 40mm, I'm right now at 30mm on this lens. That means I need my camera about 3 or 4 feet away, just slightly out of reach. And when you're at 14mm, you can have the camera basically like 4 inches from your face and you'll still only fill about a quarter of the screen. And of course, with the flexibility of being able to swoop into 30mm, it makes this an excellent lens choice. If this video helped you decide whether or not you want to buy the 14-30 f4, please use my affiliate link in the video description to Adorama. I will earn a small commission and be more financially motivated to help make more videos like this one for you. It also doesn't cost you anything extra, and you get to buy from Adorama, the sponsor of this video. They sent me this lens so I could make this video, and I couldn't have made it without them. Thank you guys. And of course, thumbs up, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. If you have thoughts or questions, drop them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer, and I will see you in the next one.